Hello guys and welcome in the 13th episode. Today we will implement our game progress scene. Let's open our project, go to this scene folders and then click on the game progress. So currently the scene is empty. We will add the summary button for every single continent. We have already created our canvas in the last episode. So today we will add some more buttons under it. So click on our canvas, right click, UI button. I will name this button Europe Summary. Europe Summary. Okay, then we just don't need this text under this button, so let's delete this element, this component. Then select the Europe Summary button, right click, UI, and then image. And this image will be the radial progress. Radial progress bar. Okay. Then under this radial progress bar, I will right click and then add another image. Make sure it's under this radial progress bar, need to be child. And I will name this loading bar. Okay. Then select the radial progress bar again, right click and add another image. And I will name this image center. So it's going to be center of our loading bar. And then right click on the center, UI, text, and I will name it text indicator. Text indicator. Okay, we have all of the components created for our button. Okay, let's apply the graphics on this button. So you click on the Europe Summary, then we have our buttons under the Resources Sprites buttons, Game Progress. So just find the Europe button and then drag and drop onto the image component. Okay, we have our button there. Before we change the size of the button, let's change the settings of our canvas. So click on the canvas and then on the canvas color, let's move this width and height to be 1. Okay, so we have to just reposition our back button now. So click on the back button, move it slightly up, and I will change this width and the height to be 60 by 60. Okay, so the button looks good. Then select the Europe Summary button and then set the width and the width to 160 and height to 80. And I will set the scale on the X to be 1.9, maybe 2. I think that looks good. Okay, I will change the highlight color of this button. So the highlight color will be this value. So we can just take this value from me, or you can set whatever color you like. I will just stick with this value. And then select color will be the same. So I will just paste the color in. So I have a nice blue color. Okay, so we have our buttons now. Let's apply the graphics to the radial progress bar. Will be the progress bar button background. So click on the radial progress bar and drag and drop this progress bar button background onto the image script. Okay, I will set the size to be 70 by 70. Right, let's just select this loading bar and the center and just disable it for now, so you can see the radial progress bar. Okay, and then select this radial progress bar and then change the scale on the X to be 0.5, so we have a nice cycle. And then I will move this button, this image there. Okay, so looks good. Right, so select the loading bar now and then enable it. Okay, so on the image component, find the progress image and then drag and drop into the image source. Okay, so we have a cycle there. Let's say set the size 70 by 70. Okay, so we have the same size and the same position as our blue cycle below. And then set the color to be red. I will set the red color. And then change the image type from simple to filled. Okay, and then fill method, make sure it's radial 360. And then I want to start filling up from the bottom. So if you see this filling amount, if we manipulate this filling amount, we have a very nice effect, very nice filling. Okay, so we're going to use it to do the animation of this bottom. So currently will be set to 0. Just set it to 0 by default. So we're going to change this value inside our script. Okay, so now click on the center. Let's find the Europe bottom center and then drag and drop onto the source image. Okay, let's change the size to be 50 by 50. And then we need to make sure we have this, first of all, just enable it. And then I will add the shadow component. So add component, shadow. I think this shadow looks good, so it's more like a 3D. Okay, we need to just change this this loading bar image a bit, because those two buttons have the same color, so we don't want to have them like covered. So I will just select the radial progress bar, click on the color, and then I will just paste the value in. Okay, so we can use the same value as I pasted there, or you can select your own. Okay, so we have a nicely looking bottom. And then if you select the loading bar and then change its filling amount, you see like if the bottom is animating. Okay, so select the text indicator now, and on the text indicator I will put the 0 and the percent. Okay, so we have the percent of how many actually flags we guessed, and I will change the color of this text to be red. Maybe I will change this to bold. Okay, and then I will manipulate the position, so the text will be displayed there. Okay, so we have our bottoms ready, the Euro bottom. Now we will have to create a script. So let's save everything. Okay, select the scripts folder, right click, create C# script, and I will name it progress bar. Okay, let's open the script. Okay, so in our progress bar script, we will need a few elements. So first of all, let's add at the top using Unity engine.ui. Okay, because we wanna use the UI elements. Okay, and at the top we need to have a few variables. So first of all will be public transform, loading bar. Another will be public transform, text indicator. Okay, then another thing which we will need will be public game settings dot e continent type. So we want to know what the type of the continent this bottom represents. We want to have another field which will be private, float, target amount. This amount will represent how many continents we guessed in how many flags we guessed in the continent. and then private float current amount will be equal to 0.0f. Okay, and then the last variable will be private float speed. I will set the speed to 30 just for now. You can manipulate the speed if you like. Okay, then go to our start method, and inside our start method we will first of all initialize our current amount to be equal to 0.0f, and then text indicator dot get component, and if we want to get the text component dot text will be equal to, and then I will just put 0 dot toString plus %. Okay, so first of all we want to display the 0%. This text will be just initialized from here. So this 0 is casting to the string, so it's nothing strange about it. It's just you need to put in the brackets and then use toString function to actually convert the integer number to string. And then I will use the switch statement. Switch continent type okay, and then first of all will be case game settings dot e continent type dot e Europe break. Okay, so for our Europe we first of all need to calculate the percentage, how many flags we guessed in the percentage. So float current flag percentage will be equal to, I will because in the final release of our games, the numbers will be taken from the file, from the ini file, so we will know based on the previous progress of based on the previous save data from if the player played the game like few days ago, we can collect all of this data and then just display the progress of the game overall. So for now I will use just temporary variable, so it will be float until we implement that storing the data. Temp var will be equal to, let's say 50, maybe 20. Okay, so we want to first of all, we don't need the casting, so we want to use this temp variable divide by float, and then game data dot instance dot Europe country dataset dot length. Okay, so we want to get how many flags we guessed and how many flags altogether are in the specific continent. Okay, and then target amount will be equal to float current flag percentage times 100%. Okay, so this is gonna be our target amount, right? So let's just copy this case statement and paste it below. We need to do the same for every single continent. So the next continent will be Africa, and we need to just make sure to change this game data instance. So we need to take the Africa data country set. Okay, so the next continent will be Asia. Next one will be North America. Next one will be South America. And then last one will be Oceania. So I just copy this South America, and then Oceania. Okay, so we need to just change this one. Okay, so just make sure you have the right data set for specific continent. And then the last case will be case game settings dot e continent type dot not set. Will be target amount will be equal to 0.0f. Okay, so if it's not set, we don't want to have this target amount set to anything. Okay, so that's it in the start method. I will just format it. So if you want to format it automatically by Visual Studio, I will just press the Ctrl K and D. So once more, if you want to format it, just hold the left control and then press K and then D. So the Visual Studio will format it by itself, so we don't have to worry about this lining stuff. Okay, so once we've done that, let's go to the update function. So inside our update function, we want to check if the current amount is less than target amount. If it is, then the current amount plus equal speed times the delta time. So we wanna add to the current amount based on the timer the values until it's reached the target amount, and then text indicator dot get component text dot text. So we want to set the text to be equal to, we want to cast to integer, and then current amount to string. Okay, so we want to convert it to string plus %. Okay, just one more bracket, that's fine. Okay, so we set the text, and now we need to do the loading bar. So loading bar dot get component image dot fill amount. So this fill amount represents that bar, if you remember when we manipulate that value between 0 and 1. So the fill amount will be equal to float current amount divided by 100 .0f. Okay, so I think that's it for this script. So let's save everything and now go back to the Unity. Okay, so we need to now apply this script. So let's go back to our bottom and then press on this radial progress bar and just drag and drop this progress bar script onto that bottom. So we need now supply the loading bar and the text indicator. So the text indicator will be this one. So just grab this text indicator and then drag and drop it on the text indicator. And then loading bar will be this loading bar. So just drag this loading bar and drop on the loading bar. Okay. And now we need to just make sure you set the right type of the continent from this field. So this is the Europe. Okay. So we can save everything now. Let's save. And let's just test if this button is working. So go back to the scenes main menu and then press play. So if you go here, you see these numbers is counting nicely, and it's like 39% because we, as you remember, we set this number to be equal to 20. If we change this number, it will be different percentage. So let's change for the Europe, maybe change to 40 or something. Let's save it and go back to the Unity. Just test again. Okay. So as you see, if you set to 40, is 78%. Okay, so everything seems to be working fine. We need to just reposition this text. Okay, so just stop execution and then go back to the scene folder, game progress. And let's just reposition this text a bit, so it's not covered by the image. I move it there and move it there. You can actually position this text whatever you like. Okay, so we have our Europe button. We need to duplicate the whole button, the Europe summary, for every single continent. So we just select this Europe summary and then press Ctrl D. Or you can just right click on it and then duplicate. Okay, the next button will be not Europe, will be Asia. Okay, for the Asia, we need to of course change all of the graphics. So for the Asia summary, we need to apply the Asia button. So the game progress. Let's find the Asia button and then drag and drop in the image component. Oh, this is the Africa, so it's not this one. Asia button, okay. And then we need to change this middle cycle as well. So this is the center. So the center will be the Asia. Okay, because the Asia looks different than Europe. And then let's position the whole button to be maybe here. So actually let's position Europe button first. So Europe button will be on the top. And then the Asia button will be below. Okay. And then on the radial progress bar under the Asia button, we need to change this continent type in our script to be Asia. Okay, so make sure you do that. If you forget to change this continent type, the results won't be correct. Okay, so let's do again for the, just duplicate this Asia button now, and then I will name it Africa. Africa. We need to change this Africa button. Okay, then we need to change this center. Africa bottom center, okay, and then we need to change in the radial progress bar the continent type to be Africa, right? And then let's position this button below. Okay, looks okay. So let's duplicate again, and then this button will be North America. North America. And then again apply the right graphic. So it's North America, and then the center as well. Okay, and then make sure to go to the radial progress bar and then change this continent type to be North America. And then we can position this button over here. Okay, so let's duplicate it again, and then we need to do South America. South America, change the graphic. Okay, then the center and the continent type to be South America, and we can position it below. Okay, and then we need to duplicate it again and name this button Oceania. Okay, and last time we need to apply the whole graphics. So here, Oceania, and then make sure to change this continent type to be Oceania. Okay, and then position it. Oh, not this one. The whole bottom. Okay, so I think we will have to move all of the buttons a bit up, because we don't. Maybe the back button will go down a bit. Okay, because we want to fit them in. Alright, so all of the buttons need to go up. Like that. Okay, I think looks good. So let's test everything. So first of all, just save the scene, then switch back to this scene to the main menu, and then let's test if everything is working. So go back to the script, and you see we have nicely looking percentage, but as you see on the South America we have 153%, which is obviously wrong. This is because we passed the number 20, that we guessed 20 flags. But if you go to our global data object and you see the South America country data set, as you see we have only 13 flags in that set. So we can't put number greater than the 13. So this is like temporary solution until we implement our data storage. So let's go back to the progress bar. And then for the South America, we don't want to pass number 20, we want to pass something less than 13. So I'll pass like 8. Okay, so save everything and then go back to Unity, press play, and then test again. So you see all of the numbers are fine. So we have different percentage because we have different number of flags per continent. So everything seems to be fine. So every time we're getting into this screen, we see nice animation. Okay, so that's it for this episode. In the next episode, we either gonna implement the data storage, or we're gonna do the continent summary. So every time you press on any of this continent, you will see all of the flags, and with the indicator displayed next to the flag which you already guessed in the past or in the recent game. So thank you very much for watching, and see you again in the next episode.